yeah, the clients put so much trust in you. They come to you with either it's a startup business or something that has so much heritage and history about it. They come to you with all these expectations and wants and desires, and they trust you to try and turn that into something for them. So
it's their business they're trusting you with as well. Like, it's making money for them as well, which is so important. And it's, you know, and I think that's something that we were really conscious of from the beginning, is that we didn't want a studio that was just aesthetically pretty and that we did stuff that was just for us. We are quite commercial in a lot of ways. We're really conscious about how the project ends up for the client, and make sure that at the end of the day they make money doing what we're doing. We're helping them to create a brand that essentially is going to be, you know, a massive assistance to their business, and they're making cash.
They're now, you know, like there's heaps of clients that we've sort of tackled like that, and you see them transform and develop into something, and you know that you've played a part in that. You're not responsible for it.
No, but you help them define themselves, I guess, which is the nice part. And that's a massive responsibility that I think you need to take really seriously.
We obviously consult on what they're going to look like and how they're going to market and what their identity is, but we go beyond that, and we, you know, like if it's hospitality, we talk to the chefs about sort of, you know, what we feel would be right for their audience in terms of their offering, and so we help develop their products and yeah, sort of we're consultants, I guess, in a lot of ways on their brand, but just not the look, but more about the feel, so people can digest the brand and appreciate it on other levels rather than just the visual aspect of it.
When we meet with a client, we walk them through the process of, you know, what being a designer or being a creative, you know, means to their business. Most people initially get us in to solve a really small problem. So it will be design a business card or, you know, do a brochure. Occasionally you get clients in to do a lot of brand work and strategy work. But most clients, because they just don't understand and they're not educated on our industry, they just assume that, you know, get in and we'll do a brochure and that's it, it's all, you know, that's fine. Most of the time you get there and their whole brand's a mess, their message is confused, their collateral's confused, they don't know who they are, they don't know where they're positioned in comparison to their clients. And we normally ask them a lot of questions.
But I think that's how our industry is changing as well, though. It's not, you know, like there's all that talk about the logo is dead and all that sort of aspect. It's more than just a logo these days, or it's more than just a tagline, or, you know, you don't need just a brochure to be able to sell material. There's so many ways to take the brand to market and so many ways to represent a brand or represent a product. So it's no longer just, you know, opening Illustrator and designing a brochure or whatever it might be. You have to see beyond that.
So when we meet with a client, we don't just look at it as a single problem. It's not just, you know, one creative outcome, whether it's a business card or a brochure. We really look about how it's going to translate across all different mediums and how it's really going to benefit their brand as a whole. From quite a strategic point of view, with a lot of education, a lot of research and consideration, and really looking at how they want to be positioned in their market, their unique selling proposition, and then how they want to use branding and how they want to use themselves to increase their business.
I guess a lot of clients like to diagnose their own problems, and then they go, right, this is the problem, get you in to fix it, you know. They've diagnosed what the issue is and you prescribe a solution. Or I guess, and in the past, in the beginning, that's how we sort of probably, you know, used to want to do it or had to do it. But over the last few years, we've sort of identified that it's our job to diagnose the problem as well as prescribe a solution for it. So, and in us having a good look at the brand and looking at what they're wanting to achieve, that allows us to uncover other aspects that maybe aren't considered. You know, we're not doing our job if we're just saying yes all the time. You have to say no. You have to challenge certain aspects of a brief and the client's expectations.
But it's always bringing it back to what the brand problem is or what the creative problem is. It's not just because we want to arrogantly say, no, this is the way it should be. It's always making sure whatever solution we come up with is right for that client. So it always has to be, you know, pushed back to the creative brief and always really considered and make sure it's on brand. I think for both of us, our favourite project, pretty much ever, I know in the last year, has been a project we did for Flinders Hotel. For us, it was such a great project on so many levels. We had this amazingly trusting client. It was a family. The client was a family. And this was their, they've got a lot of developments and a lot of things they've done in the past, but this for them was their baby. And, they came to us with this problem and they really wanted us to, come up with a great solution for it. But they gave us full rein. We could have done anything we wanted, but they knew, they trusted us enough to know that we'd give them the right response. They asked us initially just for a name of the dining room, I think was the original brief, or sort of an identity for the dining. So maybe really just some menu systems and pretty standard, some signage. The more we looked at the problem, we realised it was a lot bigger than what we first anticipated. They had these different offerings within the space. So there was fine dining, there was casual dining on the deck, there was a conference centre and also a boutique hotel. So they knew they wanted to offer all of these different experiences, but they didn't know how to actually project that to the public. So they were a bit confused. And so again, that word trust comes back into it, where they let us come up with a solution. So we decided that it was the best decision to really give them different identities, because some people, the locals for example, aren't going to probably go to the fine dining. They're going to know the place as the pub, which was the casual area, and then others are going to go there for this amazing food experience and travel down from Melbourne. And they're going to go there for the fine dining. There's people that have their wedding there and they just know it as the conference space. And then there's people that just go down for a holiday and stay in the hotel. So we knew that they had to be branded very differently and make sure that they work together as a whole. We really wanted the project to have a lot of personality though. So in defining it and speaking to those locals, this is a place where people go down and get drunk on a Friday night, or they'll meet there before they go surfing. And there's over 100 years of local yarns. Like there was a woman that shot a coin off someone's head as a dare. We ended up creating a series of collages that, after speaking to these, eclectic locals and the family that lived down there and Pierre, there was so many awesome references that we wanted to combine together. So it just seemed like the most perfect outcome for that was a collection of fantastic, collages that were really custom designed for each of the spaces. So there's one for Terminus, one for Peninsula, which is the conference room. There's one for the Quarters, which is the hotel. And there's also one for the deck, which was the casual dining area out the front.
We also included those stories on the menu shelves and in their copywriting, so that people had that connection to the past of the hotel.
So that if you were dining at the fine dining, you all sat down with a different menu, with a different local yarn. Like you could read them out to each other, and it just meant that history was never lost. And now I think they're really proud of what they've become. They're proud that they're an establishment that is in Flinders, and it's very Flinders and it's very Peninsula. And they're really, I keep using the word proud, but that's what they are. They're proud of the brand we help them create, but the whole thing works together, is whether it's the architecture or the brand or the food, everything together is really cohesive.
I guess we gave clarity to their vision. They had a vision of what they wanted to achieve, but we were able to take that and actually transform it into a whole new set of brand architecture, a visual language to represent the history of the hotel, but also where it was going. One of the most rewarding experiences was seeing a write-up in the Epicure about this new venture that Pierre was going on, and the name Terminus just seemed to roll off the tongue so easily, and he owns it. Like he's so proud of the name, the collages, the identity that we've created for his new venture. So yeah, just seeing them own it and being as passionate about the brand as we were when we originally presented it.
For us, a dream client is one that it is about trust. They'll put their whole business in your hands knowing that you're going to give them the right solution. And I think, a client that you can have that rapport with, that is an ongoing client and you are there watching their business grow, to us, that's a dream client.
I love that every day is a new challenge. Every day is different. One day you might be designing a collage for a hotel, or the next day you're solving a email marketing campaign for a client. So every day faces different challenges. Every day it's a different client. The landscape changes all the time. The technology and our product offering is exciting. The way that has evolved and changed. The way that we can offer more than just print. The fact that we can offer so many different solutions to the one problem.